Welcome back to the show. This is Right Wing Rico. I'm sitting here and I was watching this video. Now, as an adult man, unfortunately, because I'm from California, I'm desensitized. I watch these same black lesbian women tell everyone that men can give birth and that men and women are the same. I've literally watched them say this for the past 4 years. Ever since Trump left office, back in California, ever since Trump left office, California lost its mind to the point where me, as a native Californian, I was forced to evacuate and look for sanity in another state. I'm watching video after video of women who say how much they don't need men, how much they don't like men, how women and men can do the same things. Okay, if that's the case, then why are you now screaming at the top of your lungs, begging for a man to come save you from another man who's only doing what you told him he can do, which was use the women's restroom? Men and women have the same body parts. Trans women are men, or trans men, or whatever the hell is going on with you guys. For years, you have been saying this. This is the cost of staying silent. One thing about especially the black community, when I notice that people make certain claims, when they say to be gay is to be black, to be trans is to be black, I never see anybody black step up and say, excuse me, on behalf of black people, that is bullshit and it's not true. So if nobody ever counters it and denounces it and says this is not accurate, well, then we are all going to believe that it's true. So in this situation, it's very hard for me to decide who to sympathize with. This man was invited into these women's spaces, personally, specifically, to the point where he's not only kicked out, she is too. And then she wants to play the victim. Oh, so sorry. You literally spent years championing this whole notion that men can be women by just saying that they're women. Just by a verbal decree, I now identify as having an ovary instead of testicles, even though my testicles are still there. So we're going to see how this hypocrisy backfires. And this is why when they say women shouldn't be allowed to vote, because they're not going to fight these wars that they're going to pull us into, this is an example. See, it's going to be men like me that are going to have to come in and enforce these laws, which now are just the laws we used to have, where we're going to have to remove men from women's spaces. But these men wouldn't have been here in the first place if women had not petitioned for them to be allowed in these spaces. And you know what? This happened a few years ago in my same city. I remember I was living in LA, right down the street from my house. It was at a place called We Spa. Remember? Who remembers? Look it up. We Spa. And what did they do? When they protested against this man exposing his wee wee to little kids, Antifa showed up. Now, I was flying back in LA on this day, and I rushed to the scene to see if I could catch some of these Antifa. Me and a couple of my friends, they were gone, unfortunately. But we were looking for the black clad guys. We have an issue. But besides that, let's listen to how this went.
Tell me or not that women like to see
I'm
dick.
the guy asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Get out of the right now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it.
Lady, I'm sorry. There are more women that want him in that locker room than you. You are outnumbered. According to the internet, all women want him in that locker room. They want his dick exposed to kids and to other women. They have no problem with it. Welcome to the great state of California. Yeah, the weather's nice, but you're going to see some balls in the locker room when you go to the gym, if as a woman.
He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're outdated. It is okay. He is allowed. Your female counterparts, when they were screaming at the top of their lungs that men can be women and men can be allowed in women's spaces, when Leah Thompson was beating girls in swimming, when when women were forfeiting basketball, volleyball, tennis games because men were being allowed to compete against them, you were silent. Your bald black ass had nothing to say until what? It affected you as an individual. Oh, so now the world should stop and sympathize with you and come in and cry and kumbaya and expel this poor trans man because your feelings are hurt, because you don't like it. Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck were you? Do you know how long this has been going on? It's been going on for years now, not months, not days, not weeks. Where were you when the fight started? You know what they say? If you're not there for other people when they need you, there will be no one left when you need them. And that's where you are right now. You're a lame fucking duck. And I feel zero sympathy for you. Now, again, as a man, it's not my responsibility to protect you from men because men and women are equal. No more than it's a woman's responsibility to protect me from another man or protect another man from. It's not your responsibility. I'm not putting myself in harm's way for you. Now, if I was a father and I had a daughter and some man walked into her locker room, I'm afraid of what I might do. But would I stick my neck out for you? No. And I wouldn't have a daughter and live in California. I know the risks. Now, if you choose to live there, regardless of the risk, because you turn your brain off and you desensitize yourself to the realities of where you're choosing to reside, then that is on you. The consequences fall in your lap. See, people, I have to remind people every episode that with freedom comes responsibilities. You want to be free, right? You enjoy freedom, then you are responsible for yourself. That is what comes with freedom. You're going to have to be responsible for your own actions and your own decisions. You decided to stay quiet all this time. Whoop-de-doo. Now you're going to have to deal with trans men. Now you're going to have to deal with protests against you, Antifa. It's a very strange situation to be in for a black woman because now you have to actually fight against other black women. And I can see her apologizing soon.
I'm not causing. I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym. And I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it.
I'm sorry. I mean, let me ask a question. Are lesbians still women? I don't know how this works. And this woman's a self-identified lesbian, and he apparently is a trans man. I guess are trans people gay? See, the waters are so muddy that we don't know what to do. And I think the confusion is what they want created so that everything's just lost in the sauce and you really can't enforce a law, especially when you're in a liberal jurisdiction, because you must affirm everyone's identity, correct? So I'm not even sure. This is a rock and a hard place for a business, for law enforcement, because you have a black lesbian, but you also have a white trans. What do you do? What do you do? You have to affirm both their identities. She thinks that she's a man with a vagina. He thinks he's a woman with a penis. Where is the happy medium? What do we do? What do we do? And honestly, again, if I had a daughter, I would have a dog in this fight, but I don't have a daughter. She's not my responsibility. But to see this lesbian who didn't get married to a man, doesn't have children for a man, but magically, and I believe she's probably in her 40s. Now, all of a sudden, she needs men. because she doesn't have the physical capacity to fight a man. So you pretended to be a man all these years, and when push comes to shove, instead of pushing back, you fall over and you cry. She's crying.
And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there.
Lady, go call your girlfriend. Call your boo. Call your girlfriend, or maybe she's the stud. Her girlfriend's the femme. Okay, which one of y'all carry the backpack with the dick in it? Okay, put a stick or some kind of a bat in there, and instead of pulling out a fake penis, pull out a weapon and just go to work if you really feel like that. Sir, ma'am, Mr., what do you call yourself? You didn't want to be a woman until now. Do you understand how society works? Okay, I'm explaining to you, right? As a man, the reason we used to protect women in society is because we felt sorry for them. We felt sorry for women. I used to feel like women were smaller than me and weak. So if someone was trying to rob them or hurt them, it was my responsibility, being that God gave me a large body and strength, right? It's my job to defend them and to make sure that they're safe. I no longer have that mentality. I don't give a fuck who I see attacking a woman. She is on her own. Good luck. Especially after I've seen how many Avenger movies, She-Hulk, Mrs. Marvel. I've seen all these movies where women smaller than her are taking down guys that are even bigger than me. They jump on your arm, they swing around it like a snake, they bend it, you fall down, and then you pass out, and then she goes to the other five. She goes and she attacks the other five guys in the room. She kicks everybody's ass, and then she walks out with her hair looking good. Now, being that I'm an avid movie watcher, right? I believed it. I believe it. So my thing is, why are you on here crying for help? Kick his ass. Kick his ass, Seabass. Handle your candle. If you really feel like this, why didn't you just escort him out of the gym yourself? You wanted a man to do it. There was another man willing to crash out. Do you guys remember that in the very beginning of the video? There's another man got in this guy's face to defend a lesbian. Oh man. Okay, look. If you're on my chat, press 1 if you are willing to get your ass kicked or killed to defend a lesbian. Press 2 if you would only defend an actual woman that likes men. For me, it's 2 all day, because because she admitted, she acknowledges that, yes, I'm a woman. I don't think I'm a man, and I am weaker, and I'm helpless. And again, those are the women we feel sorry for. There's no way I can feel sorry for a lesbian who thinks that she's me. So she's a man 99.9% of the time, until she bumps into something she doesn't like or she meets a little adversity. And now you want to be a woman, yo? Oh, I'm crying. Now get the fuck. Are you serious? Or are you joking? Is this a joke? Is there a lesbian pulling my chain here? You want to pull something? You gonna pull it? You gonna pull it, Miss Lesbian? Let me know what you're gonna pull. Because if you're asking me to stick up for you and feel sorry for you and be there for you, I'm gonna need you to put a dress on. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get that hair relaxed. I'm gonna need a sandwich too, or this ain't gonna work. This is this is not gonna work.
In boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me, I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here, maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like I don't want to deal.
Why? Aren't you a man? Why you didn't just dap him up and go on about your day? I mean, if he's in there and he's trans and you're a lesbian, there's obviously no physical attraction. See, the reason we got men and women's spaces separate is because of, sexual assault and rape. Yeah, that's why we keep people separate, because you're worried about a man becoming a savage and just saying, you know what? Instead of trying to date you for some pussy, I'm gonna go ahead and just take it, and just turns into some kind of barbarian and ravishes you, you know. But in a situation where you guys are both gays, then this is a wash. Obviously, he's not trying to get none from you or touch on you, and you've self-identified as a man. I'm pretty sure if she was out with a girl and somebody came up and was like, ma'am, and she'd probably be like, no, 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 that's Mr. and this is my girl, man. I'm pretty sure she's corrected somebody before, because there's no way you can be a self-identified lesbian but not be a part of the pronoun gang or want to identify as a man, and then this is your girl. Because you never see two studs together. I've never seen two butch women holding hands with their pants sagging and big old hooters, big old ass, but wearing a button up collar shirt with sleeve tattoos. You know how they, come on, I'm from LA. I know everybody here has seen some lesbians before. Let's be honest. Okay. No, they get with feminine, girly girls. I'll be honest. Like personally, I was out on, I think last week Friday, the baddest, prettiest girl in the entire little event that I went to. I was like, she was a knockout. Wore this tight white dress. She looked probably like Puerto Rican, maybe mixed with something, maybe mixed with Asian. Oh, that's even better. I just didn't. But right when I was like, okay, let me go ahead and see if she's thirsty, because I'm about to buy some. I'm gonna buy drinks. I'm a drink buyer. I like to buy drinks sometimes. All of a sudden, some short, looked like Tracy Morgan, with a wig on, literally walked past me like, ugh. I'm looking around. I look down like, oh shit. And this is a woman so beautiful, you would think that she would want a man with 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 inches. You know how they say 6 pack and all that, the sixes. This was a three. She's 3 foot tall, 3 inch fingernail. I don't know what, I mean, it was not definitely a man. And it grabbed her hand, looked me up and down, and mobbed the fuck off. And I was like, shit, okay. That they put Rico in his place. I get it. But there's no way that same woman cosplaying as a man could ever be broken down on the side of the road looking for a man to come help them change a tire. And I'm going to pull over, stop what I'm doing, and go over there to save this woman who thinks she's a man. That is absolutely the fuck out of the question. Don't even pretend like this is even remotely similar. Never. You are on your own, sir. What do people tell you about life as being a man? You want to know what it's like to be a man? It's lonely. No one loves you when you're a man. People love what you can do for them. They love that you can provide. Your value is not even how you look. It's in what you have. It's a very sad and lonely existence. So you want to pretend to be a man, but you don't want everything to come with it. Nobody feels sorry for a man. What's it called? WIC, women, infants, and children. Where's the M? Because what about when men get hungry? What about when we don't have any money? What about when we need food? Guess what they have for you? Nothing. Dick, they have nothing for you. Zilch. Because society doesn't feel sorry for men. Society feels sorry for women. So if you're a woman cosplaying as a man, society, and I'm a part of society, I'm not going to feel sorry for you and your fake ass tears. And I mean, you're literally pretending to be a man. So man up.
With this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel. I'd like.
You're a lesbian. Wait, I'm sorry. Is there a switch where you can go from being a lesbian to a woman, or are lesbians still women? Because the ones that I've met, they were like, I'm a man, and they like, and I remember. I remember one of them was telling me how she was like, yeah, I had this one girl over, right? And she was going like, and I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't she be further down in between? What is that? What is that? And apparently there's a prosthetic penis. So if you guys are going as this is hilarious. If you're going as far as wearing prosthetic fake penises, then you are a man and no one's supposed to feel sorry for you. I'll be honest. I bet you the other women in the locker room was going to her like, oh, you're the only man in here. Handle it. That's why they're talking to you, because you're supposed to be the dude in here. You work out every day. You're in the gym. You got some little arm muscles like a skinny dude. You know, go press them. Go snatch them up. But you know how disappointed they probably were when they found out you're just a weak, scared woman too, pretending to be a man, a wimp. Well, this is bullshit. This is hilarious.
To think. And I get it. Like, everybody has their own things, and I don't explain. I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans
She wants to be. She don't want to be gay no more.
rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated, regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide.
Nuh-uh, that's not true. Because you came across a trans. I don't. Is it a trans man or a trans what? I don't know. And I guess what? I don't want to learn. I'm not an ally. I'm not your friend. I'm not understanding. I don't want to learn any of this. I literally try my best to make sure I screw up every time when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't want to know. I don't want to normalize it in my own mind. I don't care what everybody else is normalizing. I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like it's not, and it's weird. And I'm not going to pretend that it's. I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure I mess up every time. So if you're noticing that in my video, that's on purpose for the most part. But I'm blown away by the fact that she now wants to be a woman. She don't want to be lesbian no more. She want a man now. See, you have a wake up call sometimes, because in this society, it's safe. This society is so safe that women don't necessarily believe they need a man for protection anymore, because you can call the police. You can own a gun, and the movies are telling you that you're just as strong and capable as a man. And but a lot of it is law enforcement. First chance they get, they're calling the police. You punch one of them in the face. Now she's crying. Now she's gonna take the chain off that connects her wallet to her jeans. She don't want to be a guy no more. But in this situation, lady, you're aged out. No one's gonna take you as a wife. So you're gonna just have to learn to be a man, and nobody feels sorry for men. Now, there's other people that did videos about this. I don't know what their angle is. I didn't watch any of them. Maybe mine's is, not your cup of tea. But if you agree, subscribe and like my content and share it. I do appreciate being able to sit here and talk to you guys and laugh, because it seems serious, but it's funny. Let me tell you why it's funny. Because this is when it was serious right here, and nobody cared.
We spot. So you don't. So it's okay. I just want to be clear with you. It's okay.
What are the odds it's another black woman who's the one who's standing up and sticking up for everybody and talking about how they need to do something? And this is 4 years ago, and it sounds exactly like what is happening here. Even the voice even sounds the same. That's crazy? Are we in the Matrix, or is this a simulation? This is crazy, but listen.
It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, we spa. condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he can stay there. He can stay there. What sexual orientation? I see a dick. It lets me know he's a man. He's a man. He is a man. He is not no female. He is not a female. He is not a female. Hold on. He is not a female, sweetie. Okay, girls down there, other women who are highly offended for what they just saw.
Then why are you the only one up here protesting? Why you didn't bring everybody with you and as a collective? Why are you the only one sticking your neck out? Why is this black woman the only one sticking her neck out? I think that's a question that we should ask. Why are they the only ones talking? Why are they the only ones that care? Everybody else is down there just, doing their NPC thing and just not saying nothing. So why are you the lone wolf there complaining? Everybody, think about it. If you're a mom down there and she's saying there's little kids, little girls, why didn't the mom with their little girls come up there and say, hey, there's a guy down there just helicoptering dick all over the place? What are we doing here? But she's alone, lame duck. She's by herself.
And you did nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, you sided with him. So We Spa is in agreement with men that just say they are a woman and they can go down there with their penis and get into the women's section. Is that what you're saying? What really? What law? What law? So women can go into the men's with their breasts.
In California, yes. In New York City, yes. Yes, they can. See, your interpretation of the law is outdated. So is hers. But also, if you watch body cam footage, then you would know that black people have a thing about thinking they can just create their own laws and they can make their own rules. And I blame that on being in HBCUs where you're just around your own people, where you can kind of do that. But when you're in the real world and you're in society, you have to follow society's laws and rules, and you got to stay up to date jurisdictionally. So if you're in Texas, the man walking into the woman's locker room would probably get popped legally sex, because that's assaulting a woman if you pull your stuff out. But if you're in California, then for you pointing it out, you could be arrested, and he should be given a medal of honor and bravery for even having to endure that. You have to be aware of where you are. You do not get to make the rules. And maybe the worker here is also gay or trans themselves, and they're not going to, again, this is muddy water. How do you go and tell somebody who identifies as trans that they can't use the woman's facilities when women have been the ones saying, let them in, don't discriminate against them? Trans women or men, whatever, but let them in. Men can come into women's spaces, and there's no such thing as a woman. Isn't it all black women that are saying they don't know what a woman is? To Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court, how do you know he's a man? If you don't know what a woman is, and how do you know what a man is? How do you know that's a man? I mean, it could be a woman with a penis. See what I mean? By how now when this is also used against them and not in their favor, now it's a problem. So now Rico, now I'm the asshole, right? Because I'm asking these fair questions. Am I sticking up for the trans person? Maybe. I'm just trying to stay in line with California rules that the women push for, especially the black women. And now I'm starting to see that they don't like their own medicine. Ain't that something? What a very odd stance to take. You don't like the taste of your own medicine. But it's okay when it happens to everyone else. You don't say nothing, but when it happens to you, you want the world to, to stand still and everybody to fall to their knees and supermen to come out and start swinging and acting and get the hell out of here. Well, you've done nothing for nobody but yourself. Nobody owes you anything. And this place doesn't owe you to be comfortable. And I'll be honest, I know We Spa. I love going to We Spa. I haven't been since this incident, but they have like saunas, jacuzzis. They have like a waterfall area. They have a steam room. with hot stones. They have a massage area, and it's not co-ed. It's separated. The only part that's co-ed is like there's like a pool area, but there's different sides of it. The women are on one side, because I would go with my girl. She'd be on one side, I'd be on the other. I wouldn't see her for hours, which is great. Sometimes you need a break, but sometimes if you want to chill and talk, so we would go into the common area. But it's a big, it's a really nice place, and everybody goes there. It's like a bathhouse. This happened, and then I said, okay, I'm not going back there because I don't know. It just made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it. And then also, I don't want to be in the middle of this. I don't want a woman to all of a sudden, after they've been training us and grooming us to not care about this, to all of a sudden want me to step in. And now I'm the bad guy. No, not doing that. No.
Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't come back either. Yeah, get your money back. You got a man with his penis.
Okay, well, look, she has one person there asking for a refund. That's how it's supposed to be. Somebody standing in solidarity with you. Okay, good.
Talking about he's a woman. He ain't no woman. Yeah, give her money back. There's no such thing as transgender. He has a dick. Okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. Okay, no, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right. As a woman, I have a right to feel comfortable without a man exposing himself. Okay? No, you go somewhere else. Okay, so that's right. No, he's not a transgender. He has a penis, just like you do. Are you? No. Yeah. Okay, it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay, that's traumatizing to see that. I'm a woman. I think this is a place right here, I'm told, only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman to defend? I'm telling you, he has a penis, a full and testicles. Okay.
It's crazy. Look how mentally ill my fellow Californians are. They're looking at her like she's the odd one out, like she's the crazy one. This is completely insane. But it's hilarious because you asked for this, you voted for this. See, right now, she'd be considered a right wing Trump supporter. But I thought they hated Trump, right? She would also be considered, with her stance against trans people, she would be considered a far right Trump supporter. Remember, I told you guys a couple years ago that by the time the smoke clears and all said and done, we'll all be Trump supporters? This is what I mean. If you complain about one thing that's strange, or you are considered a right-wing Trump supporter. And that's why so many people just stay quiet, because they're afraid of being kicked out of their little leftist Democrat cult.
So I'm not transphobic, and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. What?
Well, then treat him how you want to be treated and leave him the fuck alone. Let him go ahead and rub a little dick on your kneecap in the sauna and just act like he didn't. Big deal, bro. You ain't got a little dick rub on your knee before. It's not gonna kill you. Love just little just let him get it. Let him rub a little bit of that on your knee and stop crying. Treat him the way you want to be treated. If you had some penis, you'd want to be able to rub a little bit on his knee. Maybe, you know. So leave him alone if that's how you want to treat people. They want to be treated, unless you don't really feel that way. And if that's the case, just come out and admit it, and just just go ahead, put a dress on, perm them braids, and come to the right side and start making content. Join, I'll bring you on. I'll do an interview with you. Rico will talk to you, but you're gonna have to put on some little. And you can't be against a little some of your kneecap. You gotta take a little kneecap,
Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms?
That's a good point. But guess what? Somebody's got to pay for it. And trans people don't want to be excluded from gender. It's not like you're either a man, a woman, or trans. They trans people obviously only believe in two genders because they don't transform into another gender that's not man or woman. They go to one or the other. So even trans people solely believe that there's only two genders because I've never seen one say I'm going to be a mastodon and that's my gender. Like, I've never seen that happen because it can't. This is crazy. Two identical videos. Nobody else made the connection besides me. Do me a favor, like my video, share it, subscribe, whatever. I'd appreciate it. I like you guys hanging out with me. But I made the connection. These videos are exactly 4 years apart, or almost 5 years apart, but they're the exact same video.
And what it's a man. You got one? You're a man. Okay.
And if we went into the men's section with our anatomy, that would be.
Well, it would probably, but you might not like women, so it might not. Okay. And we don't know. But for me and for a lot of other women, they do not feel comfortable, and it's not okay. Okay. So, well, yeah, you're sorry. You should be, sweetie, and you're out of alignment, and this is not right. I can tell you that much. All right, and I know you're out of order. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard not being a real man, huh? Try it. So, like I said, I want every woman get all of the information on.
I think it's crazy that she's talking crazy to some of these, even though they're gays, they're still men, and there's no other black dudes in there, nobody built like me in there. So if somebody come somebody come fire her shit up, then she did what? You got to watch how you talk to people too. Even though you're mad, you're still just a woman. And somebody go upside your head. There's not really much you can do about it, especially if he identifies as a woman too. You see, you gotta know your venue. You gotta know where you're at. Again, this other woman is talking crazy in the car to herself. She was in the gym talking crazy. This lady is getting out of line with people in the gym. Even if she's in the right, you got to be careful. What if one of them just want to, tee off on you? Then what are you going to do? You're just a victim. So you got to pick your battles. Um, if you're in California, are they eventually going to just get rid of men and women's best restrooms at establishments and at gyms and just say everything's co-ed? I don't know if they can legally do that. I know there are protections for women. I believe it's title, I think that's for sports only. But there are provisions that are for women to have self spaces where men are not allowed. But I think that the new laws in California have overridden those, and it's discriminatory to force trans or men out of a woman's space because, well, you're discriminating against them based on gender in that aspect. Remember when people used to say that the 1964 Civil Rights Act was a horrible idea because you're forcing integration amongst people who don't want to deal with other people? It backfires because past the race stuff, what if it's when straight people don't want gay people in their space? Or when women don't want men in their space? You're opening up Pandora's box. And depending on where you are, it's going to be almost impossible to close it. You don't know where this is going to go. We in the programming world, we would call that an exploit. Right now in American politics, the latest exploit is you can move here from another part of the world and you can offer to use city money to buy votes and you can win elections, even if it's stuff that you can't really do. Just because you're from another country and you come here and you make a bunch of promises, that's the exploit to get into American politics. You don't got to be born here. That's an exploit. This right here is an exploit where I can get into a woman's space by just saying one word, that's saying I'm woman, and now I can be in a woman's space. I can look at them. I can, gaze at them, whatever. And I don't have to be a woman and I'm getting around these laws. It's an exploit. And I'm not sure how to close it. And maybe it doesn't need to be closed. Things have to get back into alignment, but things have to get worse before they get better. These women who are championing and petitioning for all this, they have to feel the consequences of their actions. If a man like me comes in and saves them every time, then how will they ever learn? They wouldn't. So
Okay, well, I don't care what the security guard. He's just security.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sometimes predators go down and will just go through the woman's side.
Okay, well, no, he's sitting in there. Okay, well, security.
No. He doesn't want to be.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying he should have not been allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, the problem with when you're dealing with liberal white women or just white women in general is that they're so afraid of being shamed. They're afraid to be called a racist, a homophobic. They're afraid to be being called transphobic. And these, you know, they have jobs. So if it gets back to their job that they were being phobic against somebody at the gym who just all he wanted to do was just pull it out in front of her kids. And if you stop him from doing that, then you're a phobic. Then it's because you're afraid. You're has a phobia. And then what if she gets fired for that? So these women are afraid to speak up. Now, this black woman, maybe she doesn't have a job. So she doesn't give a damn about the consequences. So maybe that's why she's in the front. Maybe that's why she's willing to take the arrows in this battle. But I just find it amazing that years apart, the exact same video.
Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now, and don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see
I'm
dick?
the guy asking you a fucking question.
Exactly.
And that's the guy I was talking about earlier, willing to crash out. But then he caught himself and realized if I do something to this dude who claims
No.
then I'm going to get a hate crime charge. Now, the guy actually doubled down on who he is, and he actually went on TMZ. So let's this is hilarious. Let's check this out.
Well, joining us now is one of the people that that Tish says she confronted in the locker room. Her name is Alexis Black, and she's joining us now. Alexis, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi.
Hey, Alexis. So we spoke with Tish, and she said when she came face to face with you, it was obvious to her you were a man. So, you know, I don't want to get terribly graphic here, but can you kind of explain, you know, how you appeared? You know, do you believe that she was reading something in that you didn't appear to be male? She perceived you to be such.
If you don't get Zach fucking Morris off my screen, and you're telling me you don't know that this is a this is a guy, if you don't shut the fuck up, Harvey, bro, that's why I don't trust. People say, Rico, you don't like gay people. It's not that. I just don't trust people that lie. That's my issue with black people too. Gays and blacks, I have a huge issue. People just lie, and I'm like, what are you? Who are you lying to? Lying to yourself? Or you're lying to me? I don't know, but that's my main issue. This is this is insane.
Um, well, first, I told the people that raised me that this is the way that I was when I was 8 years old. And really, I stuffed it down pretty deep. And I began using hormones this year in February. And I actually relinquished that information to her.
Pause. I don't want to hear about you stuffing anything down deep, sir. Hey, yo, hey, relax. That was some wild language right there, Mr. Black.
About, you know, name change. And it says female on my ID and hormones. And I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym. So.
And were you at that moment, because she told us about a couple of different encounters, were you fully clothed at that moment?
Well, she has become aggressive with me on 4 different occasions, actually at different locations in Los Angeles at Gold's Gym. But fully clothed. I believe I was enrobed in a towel on one occasion, and this last time I was clothed the entire time. Yeah.
Okay. Again,
I'll be honest. This period in history, we would call this the golden years for being a pedophile. Because you can be a pedophile right now and sky is the limit. Skies, you can literally do anything. You can do it in front of kids, you can do it, and all you gotta claim is I'm trans. And yeah, I identify, I'm a woman too. Look at me. And you can play that game right now and get away with it. And it's insane, but it was inevitable because all of this is just about getting certain people access to children. Whatever floats your boat. He doesn't want the women, he wants the kids. Like that's and it's crazy. These are the golden years for pedophiles. Matter of fact, they passed a law in California where you don't even got to register as a sex offender if you get caught with a kid anymore if you claim to be gay and if the kid claims to be gay too. I bet you guys didn't know that. I can read you the bill number and everything. That's insane.
And I apologize if this is too graphic, but I just think it's important.
Let's speak truth, baby.
Okay. Have you fully transitioned?
Be clearer when you say that.
Your genitalia.
That is a process that requires a quite lengthy work. Like, for instance, I sat in a chair and had hair follicles removed from my face for 2 hours yesterday in a process called electrolysis. In order to have that
We want to know if you chopped off the wiener. That's what I want to know. Did you swipe him off? Did you behead yourself? The answer is no. Because you're not that committed to this. Because if you like kids, you're gonna need that thing to work and to stiffen up. So that would defeat the purpose of being a pedo if you remove it. Also, if you want to have a fake vagina, you got to get something called a dilator. And what it does is it keeps the wound from healing because your body has a nanotechnology that God gave you, where if you have a wound, it's going to close, but they need the wound to stay open to appear to be a woman's vagina. So he doesn't, but that's not the purpose of this, is so that he can trick some kind of weird perv into putting his meat in there. He doesn't want men there. It's the children that is the part that excites them. And if you ask them or you talk to them at length, I've had these conversations, I've read their literature. I remember when all this stuff started with Hirschfeld and Magnus Hirschfeld in Germany, the Austrian dude. I know what books they were actually burning in the Reich. I read the literature. I know who went to the camps. It was this. And the children burned the books, not the adults, because the children were being fed this. See, you gotta know your history, or you're failed to repeat it. So
surgery down there, one must have every single hair done that. And in order to do that, it would take would just say a year or two to have that done. That's literally not even a possibility with where I am in my transition.
So look, from her perspective, I'm just wondering if you see her perspective. She's saying that she's looking at you, say, in a towel, and you still have male genitalia, and you may be transitioning, but could you understand her being uncomfortable?
Well, I certainly do not understand it, but I do get the notion of the fear mongering that she's perpetuating. The truth in the moment is far from what she is purporting it to be. Literally every time that she's done that, I've had women in the locker room comforting me because of how aggressive she was.
And that's the problem. Other women are literally pushing him to keep this going. So he says. He could be lying. He could be delusional. If you're delusional enough to look in a mirror and see a woman, but you're a man, then I'm pretty sure you have imaginary friends who are comforting you while another woman is screaming at you to get out of our bathroom. And then you have three imaginary people come up and hug you. And, we can make, I can, it's, if you're, delusions are not going to have limits. You're not going to say, oh, yeah, I'm delusional about this, but not about that. I'm not going to go that far in my delusion. If you can see a man when you look in a woman, when you look in the mirror, but you're a woman, then you can see imaginary people. You can see affirming people telling you keep going. You're beautiful. You can make all that stuff up in your head. That's why they call it a mental disease, an illness that should be treated with therapy, not with people lying to you and enabling you. You need help. And you know they need help because if you look at the rates of people that self delete, then you'll understand why they need help. Telling them that they're beautiful and they're perfect, but they're 15 o'clock shadow, it's not it's not helpful. It's not helping them.
Towards me.
So she was saying, why don't they have a third bathroom? Especially the gym you're talking about at the Beverly Center. That's been recently built. And
You are right.
they had a layout that they could have adjusted and they could have put a third locker room in. Do you think that would have been appropriate, or do you feel like you are as entitled to use the women's locker room just as Tish's?
You know, that's a great question. I'm glad that she said it, that you have put it on the air. And the answer is that would necessitate two different ones because some people trans MTF, some people go FTM. And
He's saying some people go male to female, some people go female to male. Not sure how that would be an issue if there's a third bathroom because whether you're M to F or F to M, you would still go in the effing trans bathroom. It wouldn't matter either way. But I want to hear him rationalize this.
so that's
Yeah.
two rooms right there. You're not gonna put a trans woman with a trans man just because
Why would you?
we're trans. That seems like a whole new envelope of discrimination. But yeah, it's just like I feel like this had to happen in order for people to learn about trans. It's like it's a thing. We're here. We're going anywhere. We've been here for thousands of years. There's like 10 species of animals on Earth that do this too. Just by the way, everybody. And but about the bathroom, am I entitled to it? I know that I'm a woman. Um, should they have built another one to necessitate building this room? People would have to have the level of comfortability within themselves that I do. Not everyone possesses this much self feminine power. It doesn't happen. Not in this patriarchal system of which we've been living for so long.
That dude just hit like 15 buzzwords, which it means that he is now going to be celebrated. He's going to be seen as a hero. He's in LA. He's going to get invited to all the gay clubs. He's going to get a award at the Abbey in West Hollywood. He hit every buzzword out of the park. I'm not sure if somebody trained him on how to have media experience, but he's definitely pushing their agenda and he's handling himself by the script. I mean, he literally hit every buzzword.
Okay. All right. Alexis, we appreciate you joining us. This is clearly going to be something that Golds is going to have to
Well,
deal with.
a lot of gyms.
And a lot of gyms, yes.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of Planet Fitness and Crunch.
Okay.
So now, guess whose stock is about to go up? Crunch and Planet Fitness, because now there's a divide. If you don't want to be, remember, you don't want your producer dancing in the videos, shaking at the after party, then come to death row. If you don't want somebody jiggling their balls in front of your daughter while she's trying to work out, come to Planet Fitness. Come to Crunch. Because at Gold's Gym, you might get a little something on your kneecap. Just a little, just that much. So let me know. Yeah, I've seen some of the comments. Let me know if you agree. Like and subscribe, share the video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a bunch of topics today, so I'll be back on live in about 20 minutes. I'll see you guys again shortly. Cheers.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.